Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Creek This Week.
Creek Week!
And this is our weekly video blog where we discuss something that's going on at the church. And guess what just started this last week? Again, fall quarter.
Let me guess. School.
St. Carden. Yep,
Well, that too.
that too.
Oh.
But also, along with that,
Groups.
groups, man.
E-groups are back.
E-groups are back.
So excited.
And we just launched our fall season with my e-group, and man, do we have a good time. Thank you so much, by the way, for putting the curriculum together, Dan Hazen.
Well,
Oh,
you're
man.
welcome. It's just part of my job.
Yeah, excellent.
Literally part of my job.
Literally in my job description.
So, Dan, talk a little bit about your vision for e-groups as we launch. This is our third year now on the e-group model. Might we just review that again for everybody? Just kind of what are we wanting to get done with our e-group philosophy?
Well, it starts with the name. E stands for extended, and it's not an electronic group. It's an extended group, meaning that we extend the learning and the experience that we have on Sunday mornings into a small group environment. And we've got all kinds of little sayings that kind of undergird this. And Rick, one, I don't know if it was yours or you stole it, but
I stole everything. Everything you hear
there's-
from me is stolen.
right. If there's
It's clever. It was stolen.
multiple sources, it's research. If there's one source, it's plagiarism.
Yeah.
And that is
right.
that circles are better than rows. And so we're here in a worship experience. We're in a corporate church experience, and that's great. And we sit in rows and we learn. But then we can really take it another step when we get in circles, a small group. Yeah. And so the idea is to extend what we pick up there. Really, sometimes I think about what we do on Sunday mornings for the teaching part is that's really left brain. And that's data and information, truth. And that's a vital part of what we do. Then we move it to our right brains when we get in community. Then it becomes experiential.
Yeah.
And so an e-group is extending that. So this is a place where we cover the topic, whatever we talked about on Sunday, but we do it in a group of anywhere from 6 to 12 people or so. And then we get to know each other. That's the other big part of it. We process that information in a different way, but then we get to know and be known. And that is an absolutely key part of the Christian experience.
Yeah. I can't believe, in some sense, what we get to in our e-group. And like you're saying, Dan, it gets so much past the intellectual piece. It gets to the application piece. Like we have, not just in my current group, but in other groups at AC3, we've gotten down to brass tacks about marriage problems and about people's personal faith journeys, some people's doubts about whether they even believe or not. And all this can kind of come out. You can get real. Like you said, you can get known in that more intimate environment. Something you'd never, expose in a large group, obviously inappropriate, but in a smaller group where you feel safe, I think that's a huge element. You got to, our group leaders have to develop the safety of the group, right? So that I can feel like I can get real. And then when that happens, man, healing and sometimes loving confrontation. I mean, sometimes support through the most tragic experiences in life. It's like community the way God made it to happen when it's working right.
Yeah, there's something super attractive about it, right? Like when you get in a circle with a bunch of fellow believers and they love each other, like they care for each other, it's just attractive, right? And so I'm so excited. I love my e-group. Every week's my favorite part of the week because it's an opportunity for me as a pastor to get real.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, we're all pastors here. We can all be honest that sometimes, you got to pretend like everything's okay. But when I get into my small group, I get to actually be like, hey, something's not doing so well right now. Or, hey, this is an opportunity for me to just share my actual issues. And pretty cool story, like first e-group ever of AC3's history. And I had a kid about a year ago, and my e-group moved me into my house.
Yeah.
Like we were having a baby the same day we were moving, and they decided to move us.
Yeah, it was end of month, right? And you had to be out.
And we had to be out in a new place, and they showed up. And that's what it is. It's doing life together. It's just being there for each other, and it's awesome because we do get to talk about some really deep stuff that Dan gives us. But what we love about it is that we have safety to have those conversations.
Right.
And know that we love each other, we care for each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important too to remember that community is in the context we're experiencing the Christian faith, 21st century Western United States. there's an expectation. There's a kind of an unwritten pathway that we've gotten for generations that we don't tend to question. And that's a model that says this is a kind of a customer service, right? It's like, oh, I don't like that church. I don't like the paint. That pastor, he doesn't do it for me, that sort of thing. And that is not a New Testament model at all.
No.
That doesn't mean that the model, that doesn't mean that the structure of having a weekly meeting is broken. In fact, it's commanded that we get together weekly. Yeah. So to get together in a place where we know each other, where we connect, it takes extra effort, because we're kind of unquestioningly thinking that our Christian walk comes down to what we do for an hour on Sunday morning. Mm-hmm. And that is the tip of the iceberg. It is so much more about personal discipleship.
Yeah.
It's about what you do in your intimate relationships and what you do in community. So we see people come into Allen Creek. New folks come frequently, and we're so glad that you do. And many folks, maybe not Christians, we're here for you. The next step is to get past that, what seems to be the end of the journey.
Yes, that's right.
What seems to be the end of the Yeah, what seems to be the end of the journey is coming through the doors here at Allen Creek. That's just the beginning. To get into community and get to know people and to be what you guys just described, that's what's next. So I want to address just real quickly those of you who may be new to Allen Creek, or maybe you've been around for a while, but your exposure to church is limited to that hour and 15 minutes on Sunday mornings. Check out a group. Take that risk. I know it can be a little bit scary, but this is what's next and where God's going to meet you.
I was about to ask, Dan, we can wrap it up after this, but I was just going to ask you, what would you tell individuals man, my schedule's too packed. There's no way I could fit this in. Why is it so critical? You described a lot of reasons, but what would you tell that person?
Well, a couple things. I'd say you need to look at let's look at it from just this point of view, just a simple point of view. Wellness, just your well-being. And you'd probably make time to brush your teeth. Good. You'd probably make time to work out. You pay your bills. You eat. You sleep. This is as critical. Being in a discipling environment is as critical to your well-being. You need to make time for it. Second thing, groups meet at lots of different times. There's probably one that would fit into your schedule. And third, if there isn't one, call me. We'll make one. We will figure out how to get a new group going that can fit your schedule.
That's so good.
You said 2 things and you gave us 3.
Did I?
Yeah, so that was like a bonus.
There's 3 kinds of people in the world, those who can count and those who can't.
That's absolutely it. So come to AZ3. It's for all the smart ones. SMRT.
SMRT.
Smart.
Or just come because we're cool.
Okay. Okay, Gen Xer, Gen Zer.
Oh, Gen X. I'm a millennial. I'm not either of those.
Millennial.
I'm not Gen Z or Gen X.
I'm
forgotten.
We are the smart people. I said we are SMRT smart.
The whole smart and cool arguments are now done.
Yes. You can also check out groups online or on our app, our Church Center app.
There you go. Thank you, Alex.
The sarcasm is strong with this one.
Are we done?
Are we done?
I think that's it.
Let's go to my phone.
Is it posted yet?
Signing off.